Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this week's VIN-dow with Robert Hollinshead. Morning to you, Bob. I was
How are you,
lamenting
Sean?
about. Not bad. I was
Did it
telling
start
you
freezing up
earlier.
there? Are the tomatoes off the vine? That's my question.
First frost just
They,
happened, so
no more
Canadian
tomatoes.
Thanksgiving was this week. That's it. Yeah. So everything's
Hmm.
been getting picked out of the gardens, and I was lamenting to you. We had our worst market of 2024 this week, yesterday. Just brutal. So we usually sit around 70, 75% sell through, and 43. I'm looking at the number now. So just absolutely slaughtered. So it's not like the volume went down. It's just the number of sales went down. So I'm getting conflicting information from different independents about some are hot, some are not. So what
Hmm.
can you riff on
It's
that for a
funny that
bit?
you're bringing
What
the
do you think?
topic up, Shawnee, because I was just on the verge of spewing something on one of these little groups yesterday, and I figured I'd save it for today because as I'm reading, like people, how was your month? How's things? And then you read, what they're saying. There's a lot of new car dealers, used car dealers saying the same thing. Worst ever, worst this, worst that. Then, of course, the other guy comes in. So I'm having a record month. So that's inevitable. You follow me? But the general gist is a little on the annoyingly depressing side. And when I just take one step backwards and think back over the last 5 decades, decades that I've been doing this, a couple things pop up that I think could be, if you reflect on it a little tiny bit, it could get people who are very depressed thinking about selling their lot, getting out of the business. Blah, 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 blah. Uh, you know, we're still coming off the high of COVID, right? In other words, we went through a period where it wasn't the car business; it was legalized theft. I mean, it was just retarded. And each year, it incrementally gets, a little less COVID-esque, right? Uh, but we were just sitting I had the family around on the other day on the weekend and talking about, like, geez, it was only 4 years ago the world was coming again with the COVID, right? And then when you think about it, 2 years or 2.5, 3 years of that thing, we were making profit like it was retarded. It really wasn't, shouldn't have been legal. And then when you think back further than that, when I look at Head Start, going back through the decades, our management system, this is perfectly normal what's happening right now, right? Um, it's fall. There's a model year change. There's things, and now we got other things to add to it. And my suggestion to anybody that's thinking that it's their breath stinks and the world's coming to an end and everybody hates them and they can't stand going to work because of things. Got to remember a few things here, right? One thing is the business that we're in. It's the best business anybody could be in, as uneducated for the vast majority of us, gambler degenerates that don't mind working their balls off because we enjoy it, and if you enjoy it, part of enjoying it is you can make a little smidge, you make a little profit on something, and it makes it worthwhile, right? But it's when the shit hits the fan like it's in right now to a certain degree, where you start, you know, complaining about things and getting depressed and getting it, when you get depressed, it doesn't just, it's not in your head, it's the way you walk, it's the way you talk, it's the way you think, it's the way your employees see you, right? That shit rubs off, man. That's like COVID. You can't complain to people because people don't give a shit. They don't want to associate with losers. They want to associate with winners. You can't complain to the salespeople that business sucks. You can't complain to a consumer that business sucks. And you can't do it without opening your mouth because you look depressed, you walk depressed, you dress depressed. No, 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 no. You got to put the bounce in your step. You can't tell anybody, by the way, including anybody inside your house, because they also, even though they may say, "Oh, I'm sorry, that's a shame," they don't want to hear that shit. You're making them insecure, man. You got to be, like strong enough to only talk when you're by yourself. You could talk your ass off to yourself, argue with yourself in the car with the windows closed, get the argument over, hop out of the car, go get it cleaned up again, because all your cars have to stay cleaned up 100% of the time, or You're buying into the depression of making your lot look like shit, make it your run of cars you got at the auction look like shit. No, no, no. Good, bad, or indifferent, every single day, every car's got to be standing on its toes. You follow me? You got to get out of the bed early. You got to go to bed late, and you got to be positive, man. Even if it ain't positive, because if it's not, you're gonna affect. You're gonna make the people around you actually insecure and send off the same vibe, man. It's happened 2 or 3 times per year through every single year, with the exception of 2 or 3 in COVID. Every single year where the shit hits the fan, and you can't do nothing right, and you're banging your head against the wall. You go on a 100-mile ride to buy a 22-car package from a Mercedes dealer, and when you get there, there's only 21 of them because the service manager wanted his daughter wants to buy the Corolla that made the entire package, and just about the time you want to crack him in his head, you can't because, well, you got the other 21 cars, Bob. What are you so mad about? Yeah, but why don't you sell the other 21 to the service manager? I'll take the Corolla. Give me the Corolla. You can't do it. You can only do it on the ride home, cursing that sucker. You understand? Because the long-term effect is, how you present yourself to the community of people, your employees, your customers, how you stand on the auction block, how you close a deal. If business is horrible, you got to go in as positive as could possibly be, like you just, won an Olympic gold medal for being positive. You see what I'm saying? Because if you don't do that, and when you whine about things, nobody wants. No, first of all, nobody cares, but everybody is affected by that to where it's going to double down for you. You see what I'm saying to you? Negativity is cancerous. Fake positivity is something different. Braggadocious bullshit when you made big money on a car, you're doing great. People don't want to hear that shit neither, man. Keep that shit inside your teeth. It's no different when you're losing. I lost it. I'm losing on a car. I'm losing. Nobody gives a flying shit. In fact, many people would be happy that you're losing on a car. So why give them the ammunition? You never make more than 200. You never lose more than 200 when the words are passing your teeth. The $200 rule works perfectly all the time. You never make nobody mad. You never make nobody jealous. And what you actually do, you're the one that's responsible for it. But my point is, when things are like they are right now, they're not good, man. You got to keep moving. You got to keep marching. You got to keep cleaning. You got to keep organizing. To the point where, a customer comes in and you're depressed. Now you got 2 junks sitting alongside of the building, shouldn't be there, but nobody's going to move them. You got to keep everything neat, clean, smart, fresh, smelling correctly, so you don't repulse people. You attract people. Honeybees don't go to dead flowers. They go to nice open fresh ones. Go get their pollen, man. They don't go to someplace that's stinking. You see what I'm saying to you? It's very similar to what we do in our business. This means nothing to the vast majority of people. Think about this. I just hope we touch a few guys that are walking around kicking stones because the market sucks. They don't know what they're going to do. Don't bring it in the house when you get there. Your wife and kids don't want to hear it. They do not want to hear it. You'd like to be able to pour your heart out and say how bad it is, get the sympathy and so forth. All you're doing is making them insecure and giving them ammunition in the future that you're not the successful person that you would like to be. And it's not good. It does not. You were born by yourself. You're going to die by yourself. And in between, be careful who and how you relate negative things to, because it can work itself against you. That's I hate pontificators. People tell you how to do things and you're the best and this is how you do it and all that. That ain't what this is about. It's the hundreds of times the market has taken a change in my lifetime. You keep your head down, you move a little faster, you get a little bounce in the step, you do everything a little bit more exaggerated, cleaning things and like presenting things, and this will pass. This shit storm that we're currently in will pass. There's no question about that. No matter who gets elected, no matter what happens to interest rates, this shit will pass. It's the greatest business in the world for people like you and I, And that also ain't going to change. Because I know one thing, I wasn't built to ever work for anybody in my lifetime. That would never happen. It's impossible that that would happen. I'd get fired the first day. And I think the vast majority of people that got a dealer's license, it was part of the dealer's license application. Hey, are you a gambler degenerate? Question is yes. Yes, you're available to be a car dealer. Are you willing to bet on yourself? Are you willing to break your balls and stand by the results? If the answer is yes, you probably could be a car dealer. If you work like a dog, right? It's not work. It's if you love it, it's you're on a constant vacation, brother. That's what this is. It's a constant vacation. Go fishing, go golfing, or be a car dealer. And my choice is to do what we've been doing all our lives because it's an awful lot of fun. If you work hard enough to make it fun, that's my personal point of view. Is that too much bullshit for one session, Shawnee? Because that's really, honest to God, how I feel about it. I just feel bad when I'm reading this shit about people that are, well, I've never seen it like this. It's the worst it's ever been. I've never sold a car for a whole month. And things, then make sure they're shining correctly. Make sure they're smelling right. Make sure they're tilted on the right angle. Wherever, when somebody comes in, you got a shot. And do not commiserate with the people around you. Don't, hey, boss, what are we going to do? We're going to get up in the morning, we're going to shine the shit out of these cars, and first person coming in and going to get plastered with it. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to plaster them because the car looks and acts the way you would want it to if you were walking in the door to buy it or at the auction to buy it. Did I put you to sleep, Sean?
No, sir. That was perfect. Great. Talk next time.
See you, buddy.